All right, let's start this homily off with a question here. We got a question. Can I get a volunteer to hold this book of the Gospels for me? Anybody want to hold this book of the Gospels for me? You over here, you want to hold that? Perfect. Let's start off with a question. Okay, so we have a great teaching in our gospel reading today. Does anybody know what this teaching from Jesus is called? What we call this teaching from Jesus? Anybody know? It starts with the letter B. I'm going to give you a hint. It starts with the letter B. Does anybody think they know what word starts with the letter B, what we call this reading? What do you think it is? You know what it's called?
Bible.
Oh, the Bible? It's in the Bible, but it's not called the Bible. Anybody else want to take a guess? Another B word? What? Were you raising your hand? Were you raising your hand? Anybody else? Anyone with a B word? It's a kind of a longer word. It's a little bit of a longer word. What do you think?
Believe.
Believe? No, this teaching isn't called believe. Over there. Let's pass this microphone down over there. What do you got for me? A B word.
The Beatitudes.
Beatitudes. Right answer. Round of applause for the Beatitudes. Yeah, this is called the Beatitudes. This teaching from Jesus is called the Beatitudes. And to help us understand this teaching from Jesus, I requested 4 volunteers. Okay, 4 volunteers. I think they're going to be 7th and 8th grade. They're going to be boys. Why did I request boys for this? Because we're going to do a play on words here. You know, we have the word beatitude. These guys are going to be my Be-Atti-Dudes. What do you guys think about that? My Be-Atti-Dudes? Does that sound good? Round of applause. I got 2. Where's my other 2? I'm supposed to have 4. 2 more. Be-Atti-Dudes. Okay, we got our Be-Atti-Dudes up here. Step right up here. Set up here. Here comes 2 more. Line them all up. Why did Deacon Paul choose 4 volunteers to be our Be-Atti-Dudes? Why did I choose 4 volunteers? Well, because in our gospel reading today, we have like 4 attitudes in the gospel reading, okay? And I hear these guys are really good with their expressions, really good actors, so I'm going to have them act out these 4 attitudes that we have from our gospel reading. Does that sound like a lot of fun? Does that sound like fun? Okay, let's do this. The first attitude that we hear is poor. Does anybody want to be the poor Be-Atti-Dude? You want to be the poor? Okay, how would you show me what poor looks like? What does poor look like? Oh, turn the pockets inside out, right? Can you do that? Let's see. Do they pull? You got stuff in there? Okay, that's a pretty good representation of poor. Pockets inside out. There's nothing in my pockets, right? Nothing in my pockets. Okay, so that's the first, and he's begging. He's begging. Please give me something, Deacon Paul. Okay, that's our first attitude, right? Okay, first attitude. Our second one, what else do we hear about? We hear about the hungry. We hear about the hungry in our gospel reading, right? Who wants to be my hunger Be-Atti-Dude? Hunger? Okay, what does hunger look like? What does hunger look like? Oh, my stomach is aching from the hunger, and I've got a look of despair on my face. Okay, that's our second attitude, right? What's the third one we have here? We've got the weeping, the crying. Anyone want to be my Be-Atti-Dude crier? Right there? Let's see what crying looks like. Here we go. That looks like laughter. Oh, that looks like crying. Oh, the poor guy's crying. Oh, okay. Stay in character now. Stay in character. Okay. And then what's the fourth attitude that we have here? The fourth attitude, we have what do we have? The excluded. We have the ridiculed. We have the hated. Can you show me what excluded might look like? Like, let's say you're part of this group right now and now you're excluded. How would you show me what excluded looks like? Oh, he's going over there. He's excluded. Okay, so does everybody got a good feel for these attitudes in our Beatitude gospel reading? You guys know what those are? You got a good feeling for those? How do we feel about these attitudes? How do we feel about them? How do we feel? Does this make us feel good? We feel kind of bad? What do you think? More bad? We feel more bad when we're poor, when we're hungry, when we're excluded. Right, we feel kind of bad. But what does Jesus tell us? What does Jesus tell us? Who's got my book of the Gospels? Are you reading ahead? Are you reading ahead? Oh boy, she's reading ahead. What does Jesus tell us about these attitudes? Let's go back to our Gospel reading for a refresher, okay? And then when Jesus tells us, I want these guys to act out the new attitude, okay? What does Jesus tell us? Blessed are you who are poor, for the kingdom of God is yours. The kingdom of God is yours. Let's see some emotion. Yeah, the kingdom of God is mine. He's happy now, right? He's feeling good. Okay, what else does he say here? What else does he say here? Blessed are you who are now hungry, for you will be satisfied. Let's see what satisfied looks like. Oh man, he's eating so much. He's so satisfied. This is great. Absolutely. Okay, awesome. Where's my weeping guy? Blessed are you who are now weeping, for you will laugh. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, the last emotion. What do we have here? Blessed are you when people hate you, or when they exclude and insult you and denounce you. Your name is evil. Rejoice and leap for joy on that day. Where's the rejoicing? Where's the leaping? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, round of applause for our Be-Atti-Dudes. Good job, good job. Feel free to sit on down. You hold on to that for me, honey? You hold on to that for me? Okay. Wow. That was, I think there might be an Academy Award in their future. The acting was just tremendous. Okay, so how do we get from this sad, feeling bad attitude, and how do we get to this joyous attitude? How do we get to this attitude that Jesus tells us about? Well, it's a little bit of something that's known as a paradox. It doesn't seem likely, but in Jesus and God, it is likely. So what do we have? When we're hungry, when we're poor, when we're weeping, when we're excluded, we have a need, right? We have a need. We have a need for something, a longing for something. And also when we experience those things, we might come to realize that maybe the world, I can't get all this stuff that I need from the world. Maybe the world can't satisfy me in a way where I'm feeling fulfilled. So I have a need, I have a longing, I have an understanding when I experience those things. And these things could lead me to look outside the world for answers, to be fulfilled. It could lead me to the potential to see God. You see how that works? You see how that works? And when we go to God, when we're poor, when we're hungry, when we're weeping, when we're excluded, God will give us what we need. He will give us His grace. He will give us His reward. Maybe not in the way that we expect, but God will take care of us nonetheless. This is why Jesus mirrors these lessons in the Beatitudes with those that are rich, with those that are full, with those who people speak well of. If we get everything that we want from the world, if we're satisfied with what the world is giving us, we might not have that hunger. We might not have that longing. And we might not have that understanding that there's something beyond this world, that there is a God there waiting for us. So what's our takeaway for today in our Beatitudes? When we're poor, when we're hungry, when we're weeping, when we're excluded, go to God. Go to God with those things that are calling you to Him. God will meet you, and He will give you what you need. Remember that and trust it.